It's a great thing. You've been training for this your whole life, and you pray for an opportunity to come to a university like this and be able to show your skill set in front of all these coaches, and just to get the opportunity to do so, I'm so grateful. And I try to tell people that all the time. I'm extremely grateful for what this university has done for me, the opportunity, the platform, and then the friendships, the everlasting friendships I built, not just with my teammates, but like just with the Auburn family. So I'm just grateful, and I'm excited to see how the process goes.
And then the season now, what have you been working on? What do you really feel like you've improved upon?
Yeah, I've been working on my coverage, being able to do it, being able to be sturdy within the run game, so block shedding, block defeating, and just all of those things in combination, just trying to become the best football player possible. I feel like those are the things I'm continuing to hone in on, and then just understanding the mental aspect of the game. I understand when I get to the National Football League, there's a mental component that is even more, that transcends the college process. So I'm just trying to improve upon that every single day, getting 1% better every day.
How has Auburn shaped you into the player that you are?
That's a great question. First and foremost, I think it shaped me into a great man. Someone, I always sit here and I always think about how my father would think and how he would look at me and what I've grown into. So I consistently think about that, just trying to lead a good example to the youth and to people that support Auburn football. Ultimately, I want to be the best man, best father one day, best Christian I could possibly be. So that's the biggest thing, and that's what I want to lead with this program.
Eugene, what do you feel like you've showed the most, through all the pre-draft stuff?
Yeah, I think I've shown I have abilities to run sideline to sideline. I think I'm a backer that changes direction really well. I'm somebody that they can bring in terms of coverage and being able to rush the passer and just being physical within the run game. Just wanted to make myself a complete football player, and just to show them that I can do different things that will separate me in terms of this draft class. And that's what I really bring to the table. The intangibles, the effort, that's always going to be there. That's who I am. That's my DNA. So just trying to show that to the scouts and just have fun within this process and live within this moment.
What would you say to the different organizations when they look at you about the player that they're going to get?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think when you talk about an organization, you talk about what you bring to a team. I'm somebody that truly cares about the game of football. My actions justify that in everything I do. And you talk about protecting the logo, protecting the shield. I'm somebody that would never jeopardize an opportunity within the National Football League in any circumstance or form, based on my actions or in any form or facet. I'm somebody that cares about it. And I'm going to come in every single day and compete, given whatever role I have, and then try to, just like any role in life, you're putting in a role, and then you can improve upon that role based on hard work and all the things you show to your boss. So I'm certainly somebody like that. I'm going to come in, put my head down, and it's just kind of like college all over again. Like, first day on campus, you're like, man, I'm trying to prove myself. I'm in the NFL. So just being like a small fish in a big pond, but then just understanding who you are inside and improving it to that.
I feel like Eugene, what are your expectations for the draft?
My expectations, I pray all the time just for opportunity. I got one here with Coach Freeze and his staff, and that's the reason why I'm standing in front of you guys today. Coach Freeze and his staff gave me an opportunity, so I'm forever grateful and indebted to them for that opportunity. People talk about draft position, where you're gonna go, and all that stuff. That's outside noise, but I'm just so grateful for the opportunity, and whoever does that will be making a great selection.
Where will you be draft day? What's sort of your place?
Trying to figure out the location right now. We'll probably be in Virginia, where I'm born. So most likely Virginia. So.
Did you open some eyes with your combine performance in terms of the feedback you got afterwards?
Yeah, I think the scouts were like how I was able to go out there and move and change direction. Then being able to solidify my game speed with the 40-yard dash. That was a big thing with the process for me. So I think I opened up some eyes, but I always got a chip on my shoulder. Naturally, I feel like a sleeper in every room I walk into. That's just how I am. So just excited to continue to wake people up to the type of player I am.
How about the defense you're leaving behind? What do you see from Auburn 2025?
Yeah, it's so good to see when we were in the weight room working out, doing the vertical and stuff, I saw all the guys inside in Coach Dom's office. And I was just like, man, I looked up and I'm like, man, to be honest, to me, I'm thinking like, man, I got to make these guys proud. They're looking to us, to set the foundation. I'm like, I got to make them proud and how I perform today. So man, we leave behind guys that truly care about the game of football, that love the game of football, that want to do well for Auburn, want to represent this university in the right way, and the university deserves that to this point. So, I'm going to continue to try to pour into them. I know I'm no longer here physically, but I'm going to continue to try to pour into them and let August come as the best product we can take.
Thanks, Eugene.
Man, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
How did today go for you?
I thought it was a pretty good day. You won't know until you get the numbers back officially and until you see how good you feel about it. But I think it went pretty well from the things I heard in terms of testing numbers. I hope they were decent. I think they were solid, but throwing the ball felt good, and our receivers did a really good job today.
What do you hope the scouts saw out of you?
I would say, a tight release, quick release, ball spinning, good velocity, and then the ball's on target. I don't know. We might have one ball hit the ground today, so that was good. That's how routes on air should be. And also my agility. I think that my change of direction is pretty solid, and so it'll be good to see that number when it comes back.
From the end of the season to now, what have you really been working on? How have you seen your game progress?
Yeah, I've been down working out with some great trainers, and I would say my release has gotten quicker. The ball is coming out with more velocity. It's spinning more than it was, and I think everything's just more efficient. And so feeling good with that. Gotten to rep a lot more NFL-type routes, that we're going to run at the next level. And so I think I've tightened up everything. Just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Trust those guys. Trust the process, which I do, and we'll see where it goes.
If you get that opportunity to be part of the organization, what do you want to bring?
Yeah, first and foremost, a guy that is going to work his tail off, a guy that's tough, both physically and mentally, and then a guy who's going to help his teammates and help the organization, in any way possible. However that may be, on day one, knowing my role and being the best I possibly can at that role. And, if you start at a lower spot, working your way up and always having that angle in mind of, getting on that field and playing. But, when I first get to an organization, being the best that I can be at whatever it is. And, being a guy with energy, juice, and a good human that guys like to be around. So that's what I'll say.
Now that you've had a few months of perspective, how do you look back on your couple of years here?
Yeah, it hadn't changed much, honestly, my thoughts. Like I've always said, very fortunate. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I really enjoyed my time down here. Like I've always said, I've met so many great people, and I'm reminded by that when I come back here and talk to people in this building and see how much they helped me and the relationships that we built. That's what'll stick with me. Wins and losses, I always say, I wish we would have won more games, but the relationships will last a long time, and I gave it everything I got, and so I know I can walk away knowing that, and at the end of the day, that's kind of all you can take.
Some of the adversity, you dealt with this year, especially, coming off the bench for a little bit, coming back and starting a job. Do you think that's helped you at all, kind of in this process where you're, kind of once again in that position of, trying to fight for a spot?
Yeah, I think that's something that, I have in my back pocket too that maybe other guys don't have. I've been through a lot of adversity in my career, both at Michigan State and here. I've been a part of a very successful season. I've been a part of not as good seasons. I've, got sat down for a game, and not many other guys can say that. And so, playing 4 years of college football, I feel like I have a ton of experience. I've seen a lot of defense, and have been through a lot of things. So I think I have that going for me, and I'll always look to build on that.
Being back here today, what do you see in the young receivers that are coming back to Auburn next season?
I only saw one practice, and I was only outside for like 10 minutes, so I didn't see much. I've heard great things though. I'll be excited to watch them. I know we've got a lot of big players that came in through the portal and young guys as well. And seeing the guys that I played with last year too, building their game will be fun to watch. So I'll be excited to see how the guys do.
Do you have any plans for the draft to watch it? Where are you going to be for that?
I do not know. Probably on my couch, honestly. Hanging out with my family, eating some food or something, or chilling. I got no plans. I'm not a huge, party around those type of things. I just kind of be there and watch it and see what happens. So no plans.
Like Payton, you got the Shrine Bowl experience where you're able to connect with teams out there.
Yeah, that was a great experience. First class, run game. Very fortunate to get the invite there, and it was fun to meet other guys, other players, and then obviously NFL personnel as well. So it was fun being there. I felt like that was a great experience too. Shaking hands, meeting people, getting to play in front of them. So definitely something that will help in the long run. And again, fortunate for that invite.
Through the whole pre-draft process, Shrine Bowl, now Pro Day, what do you feel like you've shown the most?
One of my main goals was just get to sit down and meet with people and talk face to face, and just let people meet me and be around me. I haven't, with you guys, unfortunately, I don't really show much of me. You guys just give the kind of the media version and the quarterback trained version of telling you just what you probably should hear. I'm not telling you the good things. So being able to open up a little bit, have them, meet me, see a little bit of my personality, know what makes me tick, know what is valuable to me and what I focus on. So that's what I really enjoy being able to do. And then, also trying to play good football too.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.